Hello and welcome to My Mom's Basement, presented by Barstool Sports, and a very special Jurassic World Rebirth edition of My Mom's Basement. We've been saying it's coming, and we've been saying we got to get Hubs on because he's weirdly like the Barstool large reptile expert, I would say. Like, everyone has a nerdy niche here, and for Hubs, it's like dinosaurs and Godzilla. So here we are. It's finally time. I made Clem see the movie. It was very talked about in the lead up. Is Clem going to go? Is he getting got again? Is Robbie getting got again? We'll get into all of that today on The Basement.
I am so happy we got Hubs on. The way the Godzilla 1 broke, we saw it after they had already blown up in the hype. I feel like I think Godzilla, the Godzilla 0, right? Was that 0 or was it
minus one?
Minus one. Yeah. So at Godzilla 0, when they go to the actual 0, then we can do a recap with Hubs to have it fresh. But this is the next best thing. We get to just talk big old giant lizards with our big old giant lizard guy.
Hubs, are you more of a Godzilla or Jurassic guy? Do you go one over the other?
I knew you were going to ask me that, and it's really tough, but I think it's Jurassic.
Okay.
I think I'm more of a. My first thing growing up, I wanted to be an archaeologist, a paleontologist. I went on like dinosaur digs. I had all the action figures. I also had the Godzilla action figures, but I don't know. Like, I actually wanted to be like a paleontologist until I realized there's no money in that. So I think I lean dinosaurs. I just find them so fascinating. But like, Godzilla came off dinosaurs as well. He's not exactly a dinosaur. Obviously, he's a mutated lizard. But I don't know, man. Growing up, I just fell in love with all that shit. I had every action figure, you name it. And I think my mom would tell a story like she took me to see Lost World, Jurassic Park, the second one, and I'm so young. And someone turned around and was like, there's people going to die in this. And I just, I went to them and I just said like, it's make a believe. And the guy just shut up and he turned right around. But my mom will always tell that story. So like, I was just like unfazed. I'm like, yeah, I know that. Like,
you're like, turn around, asshole.
Fine. I just want to watch my Raptors. Come on.
That's hysterical. Quick basement keeping up front before we get into all of the Jurassic World stuff. Obviously, we'll have a Superman podcast on Friday. Very excited. We've got a big group going to see that together. I'm very excited to see it in a big group. Summer blockbuster feel, summer vibes back. I'll also have an interview with Brody King from AEW and the singer of God's Hate out tomorrow. Recorded that this morning. Great time. I'm interviewing TNA president Carlos Silva tomorrow as well. And I'll have Kenny from the starting line and a new band that I'm obsessed with, Winona Fighter, in the office this week. So both of those interviews will probably be out next week. But look out for all of that. Big times for the basement. Big stuff coming. I don't know if me and Nate and maybe even Dante could do a podcast about the OASIS trip. We've gone. We've been back. I'm a changed man. I've seen my favorite band live now, the band I've never thought I would see live. It was amazing.
You gotta do one, Bob.
We probably will. It's just, I'm like, are people going to care? It's a few days later. I don't know.
I mean, I would think anyone that watched all the ones leading up to it would then want to hear it, and because they're doing a U.S. tour, right?
Yeah, they're coming to the United States at the end of August. So
they're going to want to hear what it was, because Oasis people are like
the merch. I got merch literally like everywhere on my friggin' desk right now. It's just like all over the place. I spent more money than you could ever imagine on merch. No judging. I saved up a long time for it, but it's almost a boring story because everything went so perfectly to a T. There's no conflict in the story. It was just like, it was the best trip. It was the best crowd. It was the best city. It was the best stadium. It was the best set list. It was the best performance. Everything about it was beyond my expectations. So it's almost boring. It's almost boring to talk about how amazing everything was. It's a dream come true.
Breaking news: Robbie Fox loves something that he loves. Never hear that on the podcast here.
All right, let's how good they sound. Those guys sound so good live. Like there are some people that just it doesn't sync for whatever reason.
And they didn't for the last 10 years of the band. No, maybe not the last 10 years. The last 7-8 years of the band, they were performances that sounded bad. In 2009, they were like Liam had no voice. He sounded like Kermit the Frog. Then he just got it back. I don't know how he got it back, but the video, I thought maybe when I watched the videos back, it won't sound as good as it did in person. I watched the videos back. I'm like, it's just as good as it sounded. Like they sound like they're in the 90s again. It's insane.
Bob, before we go into the Jurassic, since we have a guest here, I would just like to hear another point of view, a new set of eyeballs and a brain, just because it's the last one we'll probably have. Hubs, what are you feeling before Superman drops right here? How you feeling about it?
Okay, so this has been a discussion in the office. I really haven't loved the trailers. I think like the weird like zoom ins they're doing on faces, and there's like too many of them, are like rubbing me the wrong way. I'm going with low expectations. And maybe like for the first time ever of like a summer blockbuster, I'm doing that. Usually I'm just so excited. So I can easily be impressed here and easily like this movie. I want to like it. Superman's awesome. The early reviews, you don't know what to look at. What's a super fan saying, whatever they see is going to be amazing and who's real, but I want to be impressed. I want to come away from this liking it. I'm just a little nervous.
I think I'm in your boat. I think I'm very much in your boat. Rob, you sent me a couple guys who are like, hey, this is pretty good that we like. So I feel a little better because of that. But I haven't loved the trailers, and it's just like it's such a tall task to actually land this fucking behemoth. And Jimmy can do it. If anyone can do it, Jimmy can do it. But we have to see.
There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of characters. It seems like they're introducing and working in. It's like that's really hard to do. Even if it's 2.5 hours, but hey, I'm ready for
the early reviews are good. And the two reviews that have made me pretty optimistic about it, Mike Ryan, who I absolutely love. And on a lot of movies, I'm pretty in line with Mike Ryan's opinions on. He said he loved it and he felt like so good walking out of the theater. He hasn't felt that good walking out of a movie since Top Gun Maverick. I read that and I was like, wow, that's a poll quote for you. And then Grace Randolph, a reporter who's very polarizing, controversial. People don't like her. People love her. She liked it a lot and famously does not like a lot of James Gunn movies. So for her to flip, I think shocked a lot of people. So I'm like, all right, if that's like a Gunn, and I don't really know her history, but people are saying she was a Gunn hater that was flipped by this movie. So I was like, oh shit. If he's flipping people, maybe it is the Superman that was promised.
The funny thing is, too, based on those trailers, it doesn't seem like a James Gunn project, at least in terms of the superheroes, where it's like the quick-witted stuff and the one-liners. It's like a lot of, like you said, zoom-ins on faces. And it's like we're not going to get a ton of stuff, even though I feel like we've like seen the whole movie play out in like little snippets here. So maybe it's completely different. And then I don't even know. I almost would rather have it be a James Gunn regular movie because I know the floor is pretty high on that. But if the haters are liking it, I don't know what to think. So we're
he did say
48 hours away.
Very first James Gunn movie, no needle drops. He's like, that was almost like not something that you rely on or like you fall back on, but it is kind of like you toss a great song in a movie. It's like, oh, I'm fucking back. So to do a movie where that's his signature thing and he's taking it out, it's kind of like a bold decision, even though you kind of have to with Superman. It's not like you could just be hitting songs like Guardians of the Galaxy again.
Yeah, I wouldn't have hated that, but it's like, Guardians of the Galaxy maybe might need that like little bit of help. It's fucking Superman, it is like, the guy when it's all said and done, and that's why
they're using the John Williams, like the theme is intertwined in the score. You've got John Williams enough, I guess. It's just like go with it. I think I'm gonna have like a Superman week though. I think I'm gonna rewatch the original, which is such a classic. If there's any My Mom's Basement fans out there who haven't seen the original, that's such a must watch, like classic movie, not only superhero movie, like You Will Believe a Man Could Fly, And then I think I'm going to watch the documentary, like Super/Man, the Christopher Reeve story. Everyone's saying it's amazing. So I think I'm going to go back to back, get real hyped up going into Superman. And then we'll have a podcast out for everybody on Friday with our full thoughts.
Beautiful.
All right. Jurassic World. My notes. I wrote, let's talk about some fucking dinos. Spoiler warning. I forgot to give one during the podcast, but we're about to talk spoilers for Jurassic World Rebirth. So if you haven't seen it, you care about that kind of thing, I'll give you a few buffer seconds here. I'm not going to sing the Jeopardy song. I almost sang the Jeopardy song, almost got this video taken down, almost got Barstool sued. I'm not going to do it. All right, you guys ready to go back into the podcast? Let's get back into it. Overall, I guess let's start with everyone's broad thoughts before we get into the nitty gritty on the movie. Clem, I said it was kind of a GTA meme. Oh shit, here we go again. When the trailer comes out, the John Williams score hits, and you're like, I don't really care what the last two movies did. I'm here for Jurassic World. I got really hyped. I said, this is the fucking one. It's gonna be amazing. You were much more trepidatious. what were your thoughts on Jurassic World Rebirth?
All right, so I'm not bringing out the G scale right now, Bob. I hope I don't have to bring out the G scale for this one. Bob, great, good, pretty good, very good. Okay, first thing, I was not mad that you made me watch this movie. That's good.
Okay.
If you had made me watch, again, I don't even remember which one I walked out of the movie theater, I would have been mad at you. This one, I think it was, I almost said a G word. I'm not even going to say it. All things considered, it was fine. It was perfectly fine as a movie, and I don't, I got some dinosaurs. I'm happy with the dinosaurs. Some good actors. You can say whatever you want about the story, which I'm sure we'll get into. But all in all, I come in peace right now.
You're not mad at me for it.
Not mad at you.
Okay, good. Hubs, I saw you put out your initial I think you tweeted about it, right?
Yeah, one little tweet. Yep.
And I was pretty in line with where you were. So what were your overall thoughts with Rebirth?
So bad. The Dominion is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, considering what they had to work with, and they bring in all the characters back. And I was so angry. I was steaming angry they didn't kill off one main character in the last movie. It was unbelievable to me. The last two movies are so bad. This is better than both of those. This is a rewatchable movie. If this movie's on FX, on TNT, I won't turn it off. If those movies are on TNT or FX, I'm going to turn my whole TV off and maybe just go for a walk.
Jump out
yeah, so I said it was like a 6.5 out of 10. It's just fine. I would never call it great. I would never call it bad. I have many criticisms that I've written down here, but there's also good things that happen in this movie. And I think it's shot pretty well. And there's some good acting performances. There's some things I didn't care about. My biggest gripe I came away with is I wanted more death, because they hyped up death in this movie, we're gonna kill a lot of people, and it felt like they didn't. And I don't know how specific we wanted to get right off the bat, but Mahershala Ali's character, how did he live, and why did he live? Because that was a good situation for him to sacrifice himself, and stuff he had talked about early in the movie about making a difference and all that. And he just gets out. He's like, I'm fine. I don't know. I wanted better deaths. There's one really good death, the pterodactyl guy, swallowing the guy whole. Awesome death.
Great.
That was hell yeah. But there was nothing besides that. Krebs' death at the very end, the antagonist, is nothing. He just gets ripped to shreds. It's so quick.
And you get his arm on the briefcase, I guess, is she shakes it off, and that was kind of like a funny, oh, whatever.
Needed more there. But yeah, I think there's the lagoon scene I thought was done so well. It's one of my favorite scenes in the whole franchise. And it's something they were hyping up in the book from the start. So all in all, 6.5 out of 10. I was not mad. I saw it. It could have been Clemmer's thing was this could have been a really good movie, and I agree if they tweaked some things.
I agree with that.
So that does leave some to be wanting for, but overall, I'm perfectly okay that this movie came out, and I'm happy they did it.
Bob, I'm going to use one of your analogies that I've loved. I've used it for the whole basic year here. Hubs, we were saying Marvel, it feels like they kind of the plane was in turbulence and it was diving. And finally, the last few projects kind of steadied us. I think we almost have the seatbelt seat off at this point and we can start serving drinks again on the flight. I think Jurassic Park, if this one flopped, I think the crash, it was a crash landing, no survivors, and just hell. I feel like we still have turbulence and we're still not feeling great, but at least it's not going down anymore, the plane, right? You're at least leveled off.
Although this might be an indestructible plane, because reviews are fine. It's a 55 or something on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's got the biggest opening of all time, 341 million weekend. Everyone's saying this is the indestructible franchise so far, where it's a bunch of bad movies in a row, horrible reviews. Does not matter. I'm there every single time. And even this movie, personally, I thought it was fine. Like you guys, I would say I even liked it, but I would say it's just over the threshold of having liked it for me, because I felt similar to Clemmer in that I was almost wanting the good movie that was trapped in here somewhere to pop out. I was so interested in the research team. I thought that was a great story. I was not so interested in the family subplot where you work shit like that. And with the baby dino was so forced in oh, look, baby Groot, baby Yoda, baby Dino. It was just like, oh my God, we're doing this stuff again.
Kids suck so much in these movies.
I know, and it's like I get the thought of like the original had it. It's a family franchise, involve the kids, but like just make one without the kids. Like we actually don't need them anymore.
So like that's the drawback.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, go.
You're saying the first kids were awesome.
Of course,
first kid's great. Of course,
okay. I'm with you now.
Dude,
everyone else sucks. First kid,
of course.
But they doomed the franchise. They were so good that they think that we need kids in every one of these movies.
And every single pair of kids are like off like a divorced family. It's the same situation.
It's always the trauma dumping in this movie's unreal. What was that one scene between Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali on the boat? What the fuck was that scene? She's like, oh, I lost my friend in a car bomb. He's like, at least it was fast. She's like, it wasn't. Like, oh my God.
Was that like the 2021 NFL draft or something where ESPN just had like every sad story about a prospect ever? Like this guy's best friend died in a car accident in their arms. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? It was the same
trauma dumping.
Oh,
every person in the movie had some kind of like disastrous backstory that was so you didn't need stuff like that. Like I also thought there was a lot of individual scenes that were really cool, and I agree that it was directed well. Like Gareth Edwards is a really good director for this franchise. I would sign him up for the next one, but maybe give him like a better script. And I love David Koepp, obviously great screenwriter. I don't know if he did his best work on this one because a lot of the journey to me felt easy because it was almost like rushed. Like it felt like they got the samples fairly easily to me in the movie. It didn't feel like there was a lot of like pushback where I've watched like, I thought about this when I saw them climbing up to the nest. I watched Free Solo, a documentary where I knew the person in it survived. And I was still so on the edge of my seat when he's on the side of that cliff. I was like, the whole movie could have been the journey up to that nest. And it would have been suspenseful. And you could have had a lagoon scene, them getting to the island. But instead, it was like very quickly. It was like, oh, we're up here. We got the sample. We're back down here. And then you got to deal with like the D-Rex and the mutated dinosaurs and shit like that. But it felt like an easy journey to me. Am I crazy saying that? Like it felt like them getting the samples was like not that hard.
No, it felt like when they were making the script, it's like, okay, we got to get 3 samples. So boom, boom, boom. And then we're going to have lagoon scene. And then we're going to have the final ending. And that's the movie. Like there's, although I will say this, some good they did. Everything on the water was awesome.
Yes.
And I didn't like the family and because every scene that like the kids are in and they put the lagoon scene in the trailer, but you see the kids are there. So no one's going to die. Like you just know that takes away from it. But like everything on the water, I thought was really good. I thought the Mosasaurus, the Spinosaurus, that was
cool.
Like there was
even the family's first scene. Like I felt like an oh shit when the boat goes over on the side. It's like an oh my God moment. And that
dude,
it almost felt
scene. It's
it
like
almost
Jaws.
felt I was gonna say redundant because Godzilla -1 just did the Jaws remake so well that I almost like got flashback to like, oh, we're doing that again. But it was a really good scene. The water stuff was the best. That stuff, and then the lagoon, the T-Rex. Maybe my favorite shot in the movie was when the T-Rex is sleeping, the boat inflates and then flips over and the T-Rex is no longer there. And I know it's like silly, like a T-Rex disappears out of nowhere, but that felt like kind of whimsical Spielberg-y to me of like, oh shit. And I saw someone comment that it was scarier for them to treat the T-Rex just like an animal in the wild in that moment than it was to treat it like this evil monster. Like the T-Rex kind of just like walking up to the boat slowly as they're like paddling for their lives. That was fucking cool. And that was scary. The T-Rex like bobbing for apples almost like underwater as they're underwater. That was great. Even the T-Rex going between the 2 rocks, trying to get them and then backing out. I almost felt bad for it. I was like, that looks fucking painful. This thing doesn't know what it's doing. But that stuff rocked. That was like where I was like, yes, Gareth Edwards was the fucking choice for a movie like this.
It's almost like they made the movie. Like they made the movie just to make that scene. They were like, we have to nail this
around.
Scene.
Yeah.
Because that had been something the Jurassic like audience has wanted since the book came out. Like that scene has just never been used, and it's such a good one. What you said about like viewing the T-Rex like in its natural habitat like that, that's kind of also like what the T-Rex was envisioned like in real life, where it almost was like quiet. Like how
that's,
really? Like when the raft blows up and then all of a sudden he's gone. The
Yeah.
T-Rex was like pretty good about being quiet despite being this massive, massive predator. I also just liked how curious they made it look. Like he was like, what are these guys on the road? Let me just slow.
Yeah.
Like it's almost more terrifying watching him go slowly right after as they're paddling as fast as they can. Like it's not like in not to take anything for the original, but the original, like when the T-Rex is chasing him in the car and it's like
different
ramming
vibe.
them, it's running full speed. This one, it's like, I'm just gonna slowly get up here, and then I'm swimming, I'm doing my thing, and then boom, they're all in the water. Yeah, I thought the T-Rex scene was great. The only flaw of it is that it involved the children. So like you knew unless they were killing the boyfriend, who I thought should have died at some point in the movie as well.
And
like
I warmed up to him though. I warmed up to him for
his
sure.
His character development's really good because he's a dickhead to start, where he's not even like wanting to take the reins on the boat, and then he like the dad ends up liking him. Maybe the dad could have died. I just wanted more death, really.
I saw you started writing the blog about it, Hubs. You're like, more people need to die in Jurassic Park or whatever, the Jurassic movies. And I was like, that's true for this movie. And it's probably true for a lot of the other movies. And the thing about the first one is you had these like, oh, fuck, deaths where you're like, the toilet. I remember that was like, the theater erupts with the toilet scene. Newman getting, spit on to death. And then Clever Girl is an all-time great line before the death. And it's like, we are definitely missing those. And they still have like the dinosaurs to do it with. They even have good actors now if they wanted to kill one. Or you could just like kill a bunch of just, D-list characters, and they don't do kind of any of that. I guess, like you said, we got the nest one, and we got the one with the when you think you're safe on the beach and she just gets pulled in. I thought
that was cool.
That was good.
That was cool.
I didn't really know anything about her though. That's the one thing. It's like,
true.
She seems like a better one. Did you guys catch who was the actor who dies on the boat?
Bobby, was it his name in the movie?
Yeah, did you catch who that is?
No.
Really?
I don't think so.
It's the OG villain in Deadpool.
Oh wow!
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that at all. No, but Bobby had a pretty good death to him. Getting like pulled off the boat like that, I thought was pretty good. Clem, as a big T-Rex guy, how did you feel about the T-Rex representation in this movie?
I like the change. It was really a huge change, and I do think like all T-Rexes don't have to be these imposing figures. And granted, where we thought of T-Rexes in '93, we think much different in 25, which I'm sure all the other shit. I also didn't realize paleontologists make no money. That was a nice educational thing on the pod. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
I kind of just
Ross Geller say that. You don't watch Friends?
I kind of just feel like the T-Rex, I like this one that he was like, he felt like a guy that was just having like a day out, like fishing on his own, had a nice lunch and just passed out and like woke up and was like having himself a day. Like he's like Huckleberry Finn, the dinosaur Huckleberry Finn was just having his day by the river and then met this group. And I guess the one thing that I think Hubs is right, the people not being able to die. But I like the way we were introduced to the dinosaurs. I loved how the Spinosaurs are like, oh no, they hunt with them. So like, all right, that makes sense. And it gives you fear of them along with the big, I don't know the name of the big guy, but all that kind of stuff. The Brontosaurus crew. I love the Brontosaurus crew. Were they looking to bang? Was one in heat and he kept fucking I thought we were going to get dinosaur sex and I didn't know where we were going with that. So I got a little worried. But I just liked how they kind of introduced all the dinosaurs and it felt organic instead of like, obviously the park, they would be in different spots like a zoo. This was a little more organic because they're, wild creatures in this place where no one lives anymore. But again, that's the thing about the T-Rex, Bob. That's why he's an S tier. You could be the big bad who just is, the villain, or you be a guy who's just kind of having a lazy Saturday and runs into the crew. That's why he's the king.
I thought the Raptors were creepy as fuck in this. Like if you're doing a mutated Jurassic movie, them giving them like the gross gullet and everything, I was like, all right, creepy. I also thought the D-Rex was going to be a much bigger part of the movie than it wound up being. We get the scene in the beginning, which I thought ripped. Funny that it was all over a fucking like a Snickers wrapper.
Snickers
got
bar,
sucked up into the vent. But I thought very like alien vibes. It looked like a xenomorph in the first scene. And then you just get it at the end, which I was fine with. I thought it was cool. When it comes out at the end, gnawing on the fucking helicopter like it's a leg of meat or something. I thought that was dope. The big arms and everything. But like the mutated dinosaurs to me were a much like smaller part of the movie than I thought they would be. I thought every dinosaur we're seeing is fucked up and arms and eyes growing where they shouldn't be.
So that was
Yeah.
That was the question I had for you guys. Like, Hubs, was that how they were promoting this? Was this is the freak land of dinosaurs? Because I thought everything was going to be freaks, and then I'm like, wait, these guys look pretty normal for the most part.
Yeah, maybe some longer floaty tails or something on the brontosauruses, but like,
Yeah, like everything had like a little bit of a mutation to it. Like the T-Rex had like tiger stripes.
yeah, that was cool. Cool
The
looking.
Spinosauruses were pretty on point. Mosasaur, I think that's just the Mosasaur that has been in
Is
like
that
all
supposed
these
to be
movies.
the one from the like
I don't know, but like
they
you
were
couldn't
walking the
tell,
line weirdly, right? Of referencing the trilogy, the Jurassic World trilogy.
They were. You there's reason to believe since he got out that that's just the Mosasaur just like humming around. And I really like how like since his like insertion into the franchise, like they've used him, and this was probably the best they have used him. You have like the eye looking at Scarlett Johansson and she's hanging off. Yeah, all that stuff was great. I will push back on one thing. I hated the Raptor.
Oh,
the
you didn't like
Raptor
it?
mutant. So one, you get the normal Raptors for the one scene where the boyfriend's taking a piss. And I'm like, holy shit, this is so sick. Like they're just sneaking up on him and boom, they're just out of the fucking movie. I was like, that's all we get of normal Raptors.
Yeah,
because they want to show that these new Raptors are cool. And then the gas station scene where you really get them, it's just a combination of the first and second movie with the Raptors.
It is.
And I hate how you just like there's no creativity there. Like at least
I agree with that.
We never see, that's you're seeing. You even get to see like the pointer raptor claw thing, which is literally from the first movie. And then obviously they're in like some sort. It's not a kitchen, but they're in like a snack room or whatever. And then
they already did that in the second Jurassic World with him getting in the little girl's room with the fucking finger. Like they got to stop. I liked the design of them. I didn't love how they were utilized. I would agree with you there because it's like. I almost felt the same way about the Brontosaurus or like the Discovery scene where they try to give you that, oh my God. And it's like, all right, Jonathan Bailey, I thought was the best person in the movie where it's like, he had that like, oh my God, but it just felt like they were trying to replicate it a little bit too much to me, where it was also like, they're fucked up looking and he's seen dinosaurs before. I know he hasn't seen them in the wild, but it's not the same level of, oh my God. And we're also stabbing it with a fucking needle right away and getting some blood out of it. So it was like, the scene was like, it looked good, but it felt like hollow, which a lot of, I feel like was like the whole movie.
I think with, and what you guys kind of said with how good it was and how good it could have been, I think they said, listen, we're going to do this formula. It's going to have like a 6.5 floor, which we're going to hit, which they did. It's not going to be able to hit that 8.5 ceiling, which we were hoping for, but it's not going to hit that 4.5. Oh my God. What was the last one? Dominion Hubs?
Yeah,
Dominion, it's not a flaming pile of shit.
Too.
Fallen Kingdom.
Yes.
Yeah,
I feel like they didn't take any chances, and I think now they're like, now we can make another one, and maybe we take a couple more chances, and we're gonna make $1 billion anyway because this franchise is fucking bulletproof. I will say this about the Raptor scene: I liked that they swerved though, because I was like, oh, they're gonna hunt. And then they get taken out, and then you're just like, oh yeah, nature is a fucked up place, especially if you're a dinosaur. And let's be honest, the Raptors. It's like that really nice third down running back you have. Try to put him in first and second, just can't do it. He's not a franchise player. Raptors are not franchise dinosaurs.
Come on, they are.
You think the fucking pterodactyl would take out the T-Rex? I don't think so, Bob.
They're like running backs. Like they only got like a couple
Third
seasons in them, but they're the fucking difference maker.
It's a scatterback. It's Darren Sproles. Great player. Not the same. Just not the same. Apples and oranges to the T-Rex.
Also,
you built a franchise around the Jurassic Park. Still has the T-Rex fucking bone because
that's a good logo. You can't change that logo ever.
Wait,
that came up at the beginning.
That's a gripe I had. What's up with the world being bored of dinosaurs 30 years back from when we bring them back? Dude, I went to the zoo last summer to see some birds and like leopards. Thought they were awesome. We're all of a sudden bored of dinosaurs? Fuck off. Dinosaurs, that would have been come on, that would have never, if we brought those suckers back, we would never be tired of them. Never. Get out of here with that.
So I was wondering how they're going to handle the whole dinosaurs have taken over the world, it's an invasion thing, and they just had to do that. And I'm like, we're just going to have to swallow the medicine with that one. Like I felt like there was no other way around it, but I had the same point. And listen, of the panel here, Hubs is the last guy who'd be tired of dinosaurs. You would probably have a pet dinosaur right now instead of a dog.
Bro, I would
Yeah,
have
one of
went.
those
I would have
babies,
went to. I would have went to Jurassic World. I just would have gone. I would have absolutely went there. I would have.
You would have been
I
next
was-
to Jimmy Buffett with Margaritaville, yeah, as they're running out of that place.
No question about it. I would have taken.
Seeing the one in New York was cool. I was kind of like, ooh, that could be something to explore, but like we just got the quick shot of like it was causing traffic.
Yeah,
I was kind of like, that's kind of fucking funny.
That's another thing. Like the first 30 minutes of this movie are terrible. Like nothing until we get to the island.
It's trauma dumping. Other than the intro, the intro is cool with the weird fucking thing getting out of captivity, the D-Rex.
Sure.
And then the stuff about dinosaurs being everyone's tired of them already. I was like kind of rolling my eyes at a little bit. Then you get the comically evil pharmaceutical guy where like my first note was, oh boy, I wonder if the pharmaceutical company willing to pay any number possible to get what they want will wind up being good or bad. And then he brings up Scarlett Johansson's like dead mom. He's like, the less people know about this, the better. And he tells the most knowledgeable paleontologist in the world, he's like, if you don't come with us, you're just a fucking guy that goes to the zoo, brother. Like everything about him was so over the top, comically evil. I at least appreciated that it wasn't like a big twist in the end. Like pretty much the whole movie, Jonathan Bailey's like, hey, we're not going to fucking give this guy the cure, right? Like we're just going to go get it and disperse it and be the good people. But let's do away with that as well in the Jurassic Park franchise. Like we don't really need the evil corporation actually has ulterior motives. And I know that's not a hot take. Ken Jack said the same thing. A bunch of people are saying the same thing. It's just I'm shocked they went right back to that. Well,
also ScarJo changes her mind in 0.2 seconds. She's like, I'm absolutely not.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm absolutely not going to. She's like, all right, money. Okay, no problem. I'm there.
And it's also very unclear what she is. I know that they make a point of it being unclear, where they're like a mercenary, and she's like it's security or whatever, and she's like so a mercenary. I still don't really know what the fuck ScarJo was after that movie.
I didn't even think she was that good in this movie. Like you said, Jonathan Bailey and Mahershala Ali to me stood above everybody else. They were so good, and Bailey
Scarlett was fine, but like
she's like for being the lead and like the face. Like I really don't think she like took over the movie.
No, Jonathan Bailey stole it. I mean, he was so good.
I never thought like, oh, that's Black Widow, right? Like she should be fucking people up, and your Black Widow brain will be like, oh yeah, let's go Black Widow. And you're just thinking she's crushing. She just blended in, like you said. I will say this about Jurassic Park. It does evolve, a little dinosaur lingo there. It does evolve with the times, though, because the first one, the lawyers were the bad guys. Now, health insurance are the bad guys. And let's be honest, like that kind of does chart out. Like I feel like our boy Luigi in jail right now. He's like, I told you guys, I'm not that fucking bad of a person. So.
Someone's got to get the plot details to Luigi. Send them in, and a note.
That's amazing.
And then like. A lot of people are saying, where do they go from here? Did they corner the franchise in with the dinosaurs are now all at the equator? They can't survive in the normal climates and, the heart disease or whatever. Where can they go? A lot of people are saying they want it to go in an apocalyptic direction, which I think could be cool and unique. Like, I didn't think about that myself before it was suggested on Twitter by a bunch of people. But now that I'm seeing that, I'm like, yeah, maybe that's how you change things up, because you can't go with like, we're weaponizing them again. We're making them warriors. We're not putting them back in a park, I don't think, because the public interest has waned. Do you guys have any ideas? Where do they go from here?
I actually was going to ask you guys this exact question, because I don't watch the Mission Impossible franchises. I don't watch the Fast and the Furious franchises. Even like the John Wick, I kind of go but those are much more established, and I do feel like those have had highs and lows and found ways to stay relevant with advancing the story. And I don't know where this goes from here. The thing is, those didn't hit the rock bottom that Jurassic had.
Yeah,
I'm like at some point, I'm happy they went from Jurassic Park to Jurassic World, because it's like, stop tarnishing the name of the original. But I was going to ask you, like, I'd love to hear what Hubs has to think. Like, what do you think they could do from here that, as you like the dino guy, would be like, isn't, spitting in the face of everyone who's, they care about dinosaurs again. Maybe the heart disease, everyone with heart disease takes the drug, they become a dinosaur.
Makes them appreciate it.
Makes them appreciate it.
So I saw something was like, you could do something where like a documentary team is like sneaking onto that island, and then you just make it a survival thing. Like, where, and please God, don't involve children anymore. I just don't want to
Yes.
see them anymore. But like that would, and then you're not going to make it rated R because every single one of these are PG-13. But I don't know, like target it more towards like what Final Destination just did, and like make every death awesome. And like people, I've seen bits and pieces of the final issue, but I think everyone loved this iteration.
Yeah, people were saying it was great.
Make it so like there's been so many. I said it before, but like there's been so many very good deaths, but throughout the franchise, and I thought there was only one here. Make it so like focus on every single one being like memorable. Like
10,
I'll always
oh my God moments. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll always remember like Udesky getting ripped apart by the Raptors in JP3. Obviously, the toilet scene in 1. The guy getting
I
ripped
even
apart.
think the assistant in World getting picked up and dropped a bunch.
Yeah,
great
funny. I have a fun fact about that. She asked to be killed like in a special way. So like
as like an honor, right? Like
yes.
yeah.
So like people always go back to me like that's the most unnecessary death of all time. I feel like it goes viral with like 200K likes like once a year. I should probably do it one year. And people, what people don't realize is that wasn't unnecessary. She actually wanted to die that way. Like she thought it was a cool way to be.
And she's 100% right. It's one of the most memorable moments of the entire movie.
Dude, awesome. And then in the second one, the guy gets absolutely ripped to shreds. He's trying to save the trailer from falling off. Which I'm pretty sure, Bob, you said that actor was asked to be in this one, and they didn't know he died.
Oh, I think yes, yeah. Like they reached out to him, was like, "Do you want to return?" And I think he wrote back like, "My character died. What are you talking about?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, we forgot."
I thought you meant the actor died. I'm like, yeah, you're not going to get a text message back on that.
No, yeah. What was his name? I'm Eddie Carr. Eddie Carr, right. Eddie Carr was the actor. There's the character's name. But anyways, memorable moments like that. Like that's what I think about. Most of the time, I don't care. Like mostly that they get saved at the end because obviously some of them have to live. But like, focus on memorable deaths. And a lot of these deaths in this one happen kind of off screen, which I didn't love. Like the girl on the beach
getting dragged away.
I guess the dude from Deadpool who I mentioned, you can kind of see him. He gets bitten and then taken off into sea. But there were some of them that just like
you don't get like blood. You don't get like a blood splatter or like anything like that. Which I guess people will argue it's still a family franchise at the end of the day. But like, look at the original. Like we got a little bit of gruesomeness in this franchise.
That Eddie guy is ripped apart by 2 T-Rexes. He's spit roasted by 2 T-Rexes, and that's PG-13. So we can get and then like I said, Udesky. He's they snap his neck. The raptor snaps his neck in JP3, and that happens after he gets clawed in the spine and paralyzed. So like, don't tell me we can't have cool deaths. And then obviously we just mentioned the Jurassic World one. So I would just focus on that. I don't really know though, because what else you can do? Can you do the apocalyptic if like they're all in one spot? Like how are they going to retake over the world?
I don't know. I was thinking that. Like how do they?
That would have
like,
to be a climate. Reboot. That to me, you have to reboot the whole franchise if you're going to do apocalyptic.
The climate slowly goes back. Like I don't know.
What if there's like a Squid Games, like an island where they have them and these people have to like survive?
Or you said it. You do a time piece. You do a '90s movie.
Nostalgia plays. I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, no matter what you thought going into this movie, no matter what you thought going out of this movie, when those John Williams scores play,
oh my God,
it is 10 out of 10
every time.
Up, and you're just like, I'm just happy to be home. Like you feel like you are in that world again. No matter what.
In 3 years, when a trailer comes out for the next one with the John Williams score, the 3 of us are going to be like, you fucking see that trailer, brother? They're doing it this time. They got it.
Yeah, the moment it hits, the first time it hits in this one is right after like we get through ScarJo and Bailey being convinced to join the moment he's like sitting there, he's chewing on his thing, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's a helicopter zooming, and we get him like, all right, movie started, we're good.
Everything
that happened before this doesn't matter. Now we're on the island. They're blasting John Williams. We're good to go. Strap in. I got 2 hours here. I'm all my popcorn now. And that's all I need. And guess what, folks? That's why they make $1 billion. Because that's all fucking they need. John Williams, dinosaurs, death, and exotic islands.
Yeah.
George Lucas told us 50 years ago almost, just give us a text scroll. Dinosaurs, nobody cares about them anymore. Blah, blah, blah. Scarlett Johansson's a fucking, like even put Scarlett Johansson, don't even put her character name, is a mercenary, even though it doesn't feel like it. here are some dinosaurs.
Right onto the islands. Yeah.
Oh no, what's the other one?
Another. Yeah.
We're ready. We're ready to rock.
Did you guys
I
like
don't
this
even
one
know if
better
they played
than
that song. Sorry. Go.
Yeah, I don't know if they did. There was
I
also I
don't think
remember
they
they
did.
hit. They had to have though, right?
They had to have.
Oh,
That's
did
how much
they play
they
that?
suck,
No,
we don't
I think they
remember it.
did. Did they play that right after the intro when they hit the
Yes.
fucking
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
Maybe, but it's not
did you-
memorable.
Did you guys like this better than the first Jurassic World? Because I think I liked the first Jurassic World better than this, if I'm being honest.
I liked Jurassic World 1 better than this. 2 and 3, though, this is above that.
Yes.
Totally.
1,
Yeah.
4, and then I don't think I even saw 3. So 1. I didn't even see 3. I was gonna put it above 2, but the way Hubs talked about 3, I don't think I could even do that blindly. So I'll just say
I never
1
saw
and
the
then-
full 3. I saw big portions of 3. And
That's
I
a
think when I
good
was in
sign that it was
Mexico-
terrible, though, right? Wasn't that
Yeah.
a bad, you know, like come
Oh,
on.
it was bad. Oh, it was bad.
The first Jurassic World is good because we're not so smothered with the mutant dinosaur thing yet. So like
Yeah.
the Indoraptor is the first time we're seeing that. Like that's kind of cool. The problem is they just kept doing it, like the movies
Yeah.
after that. But no, the Indoraptor and Chris Pratt and
Bryce Dallas Howard's
guess-
great in that movie. The scene where
Yeah.
she fucking hits the flare and the T-Rex from the OG comes out. Like I remember opening day in theaters, people going nuts for that. And is it silly that she outruns the T-Rex in her high heels after that? Yeah, a little bit silly after fucking chase down a Jeep in the first one, but it's still a great scene.
What's sillier, that or Chris Pratt doing the somersault out of the T-Rex cage in the second one, where he just somersaults as the T-Rex is very much awake and like trying to chomp, he just somersaults away. I don't think so, but no, the ScarJo escaping that is insane. And then the Mosasaur comes to the rescue at the end. It was like kind of the first time we're seeing him.
That was
I
cool
guess
too.
besides early in the movie, he does like his little his SeaWorld thing. But oh no, overall, I don't have it. Jurassic World is very rewatchable to me.
I agree.
I think it's number. I didn't rewatch the second or third Jurassic Parks. I haven't rewatched them in years. I think it might be my number 2 Jurassic movie.
I think it is for me. I haven't seen 2 and 3 in so many years as well, but I'm not a huge fan of 2 and 3 personally. So like, it might be my second favorite too.
3 makes sense. 2, I will push back on. I like 2. Also, the T-Rex coming to California. And is it San Diego? Yeah. And like I don't know that very end.
I owe it a rewatch.
Their neighborhood.
That's
I like
in
that.
2?
Also, that's in 2. That's the very end of 2.
Is that like in the kid's bedroom? Like the kid looks out his window? Okay, I kind of remember that.
His parents think he's having a fucking nightmare, and then all of a sudden he killed the dog. He kills the dog after drinking from the pool. No, but like, hey, guess what? That took a chance. That's a chance in a movie, which like not many of these movies do anymore. You also have a great death. Guy's running down the street and he thinks he runs into the side of a store and then he just gets fucking chopped by the T-Rex. But earlier in that movie, though, there's a great raptor scene in the high grass. That's where they nail the rap. That's an all-time raptor scene is in the second one. So I won't go as that far, but you can definitely Jurassic World over JP3. I'll definitely give you. That's totally fair.
It's crazy that 3 was a Spielberg movie, to be honest. Spielberg's my fucking guy. I'll defend Spielberg to the death. But you watch that movie and you're like, ooh, what happened? Like you lost a little bit of that. You lost a lot of that charm from the first one. And it feels more like a straight to VHS sequel than it does a theatrical sequel in my mind.
I do think it gets too much shit, but it's definitely like a step down from like 1, 2 and Jurassic World are. But like it's still way better than the previous 2 that just happened.
Oh yeah.
There's good raptor scenes. That you get the introduction of the Spinosaurus. I mean,
Spinosaurus is cool in that.
He's got a good roar in that. It's a different. The Spinosaurus in this one felt smaller. That one's like a big Spino. And then that's a bad one if you like T-Rexes. Not a good one for that because he breaks the T-Rex's neck like real quick to be like I'm the new daddy here.
That's right. I forgot to be. That was fucked up. I have to also say I read the book for The Lost World. Like I remember being hyped for it, and I think I liked it. I don't think anything's going to touch the original, but the original's so good. We keep coming back. We're going to keep coming back. More slop.
Honestly, talking about this movie makes me want to go rewatch the original right now. Like the original is so fucking perfect. Another movie where I would say like if anyone's listening to this hasn't seen it, you're not 43 minutes into a fucking Jurassic World sequel podcast. You haven't seen the original, but just go rewatch the first one and be like, God damn, that is a perfect movie start to finish. Every single scene, every single moment. It's the best. It's and like Spielberg has like 3 movies like that. Like Jaws is like that. Raiders of the Lost Ark is like that. E.T. is like that. Fucking Saving Private Ryan. Like he's insane.
It's amazing they made that in '93. It's amazing.
Top 25. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
When it came out, and as the old head here, I remember '93. People were like, "How the fuck did they make that?" Now, how the fuck did they make that?
I know. It's almost more impressive looking back, where it's like we've made what 6 of these now, 7 of these, and we're still chasing that high. We're still chasing the dragon that the first one gave us.
And the greatest thing they gave the world, which is now extinct, unfortunately, the supersized meal at McDonald's. Everyone forgets that was started by the Jurassic franchise. So top 25,
that's a good transition. Oh, for sure. I think top 25. Yeah.
I mean, Hubs, it's like top 25 dinosaur. It's like the top 25 is all dinosaurs and
top
Godzilla.
15 for me.
It's high up for me. It's top 10. It's top 10.
You guys remember how? Oh, it's top 10.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I have. It's one of those movies. Because I remember when Big Cat Dave and Kevin used to always argue. Remember, it was Hook top 50, and then Dave went on a whole thing. And I feel like Jurassic Park is a better, more well done, and even critically acclaimed version of Hook, where it's like, I think it's obviously it's better in every single respect. But I do think some people would be a little hesitant if they're movie snobs to be like Jurassic Park. But it changed the world we live in. So.
Oh yeah. Yep. It's a good time for you to bring up the Super Size Me meal because it's time for our fast food review of Jurassic Park. Clem, would you like to start?
Jurassic World.
Sorry, yes. Not Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park.
Okay.
The best fast food item you could think of.
So I've remixed this one. Usually we do a food item. This is how I'm comparing it. So this movie, I think we talked about it. It was okay. Pretty good. Fine. I'm scared to use the G scale here. But it was good. It brings back a lot of those nostalgic vibes. It's an old franchise brought back. I was excited for it because of the old stuff. It hit. There's definitely some things missing. I think all of our criticisms are fair. And I think it was a year, maybe 2 years ago, McDonald's brought back, I think they were called the Boo Baskets, the Halloween things. You remember that?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, when they brought those back, us 90s kids were like, holy shit. And I remember getting them with the kids. We got them Happy Meals, and then we had them. And I remember being like, this plastic is kind of like cheaper than I remember. And it's like, I don't think I'm just going to buy my kids another pail. Like, I'm not going to go out in these. But it's like, it still hits the nostalgia vibes. We still have them. We put them out on Halloween, decorate the house. And I'm sure, like, if I probably looked at the 90s, they probably suck too. But sometimes stuff back in the day was made better. So I'm like, I imagine if I got the old Boo Baskets and the new Boo Baskets, the old ones are better, just like the old Jurassic Park's better than this one. But this still fucking just like scratches that nostalgic itch, which is all I can ask for. And in the end of the day, you're just happy you have them in your life. So the Boo Baskets or whatever they're called.
I also picked a returning item. I picked the KFC Double Down, which debuted a long time ago. This monstrous sandwich, chicken as the bread. And then it went away for a long time. And then it came back. I had a lot of nostalgia. I was like, we got to get that fucking Double Down. And I ate it, and it was good. I'm not going to lie. It was good. But I could tell pretty much immediately that I was going to pay for it. I was like, it was good, but I don't know if it was good for me. And that's kind of how I felt about this, where I was like, I liked it, but I don't know if this direction of making a safe movie and getting $1 billion instantly for it is going to be good in the long term of the franchise. I hope. Like we're saying, maybe the next one they start to take chances. They say, all right, we made our fucking money. We got back on track. Now let's take a couple chances. Let's get a couple crazy deaths back in the franchise. But I fear that I'm gonna be regretting it later. And I'm gonna be like, oh no, they're just making safe movies again. Hubs, your fast food review.
I also went like the nostalgia route. I was thinking about yesterday and all of a sudden just hit me. It's the Burger King snack wrap. They tried to recreate what McDonald's and Wendy's had, and obviously it's very timely with the McDonald's snack wrap coming back. Can't wait to try that. But Burger King snack wrap is not the greatest thing you've ever had, but it's also not terrible. Like I've gotten it probably too many times, but I enjoy them. Like the honey mustard Burger King snack wrap is solid. Like it gets the job done for lunch. I probably wouldn't like scream from the mountaintops or like tweet about it or whatever that like, hey, you got to have this, but it does the job and it's definitely not bad. So that's kind of how I view this movie, and it's trying to, get that nostalgia back of what snack wraps used to be. They didn't nail it necessarily, but it did a fine job.
Look at that. Great fast food review. I don't know if that was our first guest fast food review, but it might have been, Clem.
That's a ball knower right there. Hubs is a ball knower.
That was instant ball no, because I was gonna text Hubs. You texted him first, like, where do we do fast food reviews? And I was just thinking in my mind, like, how fucking stupid does that sound out of context when we're like,
no, I liked it.
Compared to a fast food item. Okay, good.
I like it.
I mean, Glenny Ball's cornered the market on the number game with the ball.
Yeah, he's got the ball scale, so it's like, yeah.
No,
although we do own the
place.
IP, never forget, we retained the IP of the ball scale.
Yes, that's true. You struck that deal. By the way, it was Boo Buckets. I don't want people to think I'm not a ball knower. I just couldn't remember off the top of my head. Boo Buckets is the McDonald's thing.
Fair enough.
All right, there we go. That was the Jurassic World Rebirth edition of My Mom's Basement. Hubs, thank you for joining us, lending your dino expertise with us, Jurassic expertise. And we will be back on Friday for a Superman review. But before then, look out for all the interviews I mentioned at the start of the pod. We'll talk to you then.